Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to the Nourishing Traditions, and today we will be discussing Tuh-rain theory versus the germ theory. So firstly, we're going to look at a fish which is happily swimming in the pond. The pond is neat and clean, the fish are healthy, and we then stopped filling up the pond with oil, plastics and metals and industrial waste. As you can see that the pond starts filling up and the fish, they start getting sick, and some of them, they also die and appear on the top floating. So a lot of times when we see that the fish are sick and we try to inoculate them with different types of drugs, injections, antibiotics, vaccinations, and we say that the immune system of the fish or the living thing is not enough to cope up with the diseases, and there is something which is attacking from the outer space or from the environment or from the terrain of the fish which is attacking her and making her sick, and that is some kind of a link with germs or something which can make us sick, and we become terrified and we start working on ourselves to stay fit. But there's another theory, which is the Tuh-rain theory, that if we clean the terrain, if we keep the pond clean, if we keep the fish in which the environment or the environment in which she is living clean, she has that oxygen coming from the water, the gills are purifying the water in and out, she has that no oil in the water, and where she can easily feel the air, the oxygen, where she can breathe out carbon dioxide, take in the air, where she has a lot of nutritious food around her, non-toxic food which is not touched by the industrial waste. Definitely she's gonna thrive in such an environment. So in the same way, we might say that some people, they are prone to sicknesses, they are prone to get sick by catching viruses or bacteria, and they suffer from various symptoms. But what do you think that what could make a person prone to different sicknesses? Is there something wrong with the person, or is there something wrong in his environment, or is there a lot of new viruses and bacteria attacking him, and why is he so easily attacked? So if we shift our paradigm, if we shift our thinking that many healthy choices, they can give a human being a good terrain, a healthy, possibly functional terrain, which is able not to let any microorganism, let any virus, let any bacteria populate on him, in his body, in his fluid, on his skin, in his interstitial fluid, in his blood, in his lymph, anywhere, not to populate and take over him. So what can be the measures? What can actually a human being do to keep himself healthy? Now, the Tuh-rain theory argues that if the body is well balanced, and then its natural healing systems, they work in such a way that they can fight any diseases and they won't let any germs grow on themselves. Now, Anthony Bouchamp, he said that the germs seek their natural habitat, which means that germs are naturally inclined or attracted to an area or a tissue where there are toxins and the tissue is not able to thrive. So it has a natural tendency to attract germs and to let the naturally occurring bacteria in the body make use of those unfavorable conditions and let them grow on their tissues. So the cause of the disease is not the germ causing the tissue to decay. Rather, It's the tissue itself which is decaying and attracting those germs to make you sick. So this is a whole paradigm shift. So the germ theory versus the Tuh-rain theory, the debate doesn't always have a clear winner, but if you look at the kind of environmental factors, fluoride in water, poor soil, there are no minerals in the soil, and toxic chemicals which are being constantly put in the air, metals and fluoride in water, fast food and polluted air, then on top of it radiation and electromagnetic radiation, and all of these pollutants, they can make us ill, or they can cause a naturally occurring flora in our body to be in those unfavorable conditions, and they can grow in our flora. And there are millions of strains of these natural floras which can grow. For example, the Clostridium def, which is mostly found in hospitalized patients, and these patients are already sick. Their Tuh-rain is disrupted, and they have insufficient diets. Their blood reports are haphazard. Some of the diets are not properly inclined in helping them reach that healthy level where they can fight their diseases. So this is one example of the germ theory versus the Tuh-rain theory. Let's move forward. So Hippocrates said that it is more important to know what sort of a person has a disease than to know what sort of disease a person has. Like, for example, a cynical person or a skeptical person is more hard on himself. He's more hard on his soul. Now, the possibility of heart diseases, or the possibility of doubt and suspicions and OCDs, they can be more in such a person because they are naturally not inclined to trust anything, and nature or other people, they're naturally not inclined to trust them. So we need to look at a person holistically, and his inner environment, his feelings, fears, his psychological state, his body terrain, all of these drug-induced side effects or any toxins from the environment, all of these, they play a part in keeping his Tuh-rain straight. Human Tuh-rain consists of the blood, the lymph, the interstitial fluid, microfloras, the pH of different body fluids. If these are perfectly normal, then there are more chances for a person to be able to fight any diseases. Tuh-rain can also be influenced by air, water, food, the environment we live in. A complete healing is always from the inside, and healing is a lifelong journey. So self-healing and natural healing, it is a set of different elements which a person looks into. It can be psychological, dealing with body humors, and like I said, the environment we live in, and inshallah we will refer to it in our further videos. Whereas the germ theory, we all are aware of, consists of this fear of germs which can make us sick, and for that reason we might require drugs to deal with it and some medicines to deal with it. So this is all for now for this video, and I hope I'm able to take this topic ahead, and we will be discussing more about diseases and how to tackle them in the paradigm of the Tuh-rain theory. So thank you for watching, and like, share and subscribe. Ma salama.